If you wouldn't date you, then how dare you expect someone else to date you? Hey guys, it's Jermaine and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on my channel, I just want to say welcome. My name is Jermaine. I make videos about the fat positive, fat liberation, fat activist movement. I share my thoughts on obesity. I also share with you my personal stories as someone who used to be obese and how I was influenced by the fat acceptance movement as well. I embrace the whole fat is beautiful. It's okay to be obese. It's okay to be a big girl, and big doesn't mean you're ugly. Big is beautiful. All of that, I embraced it for a long time until I had a revelation and I decided to change my life. And now I make videos exposing the minds and the agenda behind the fat positive, fat liberation, body positive movement. And I also share with you why I think it's a lie. And as somebody who was deceived by these people, it's a cult, it's a lie. We need to start thinking on our own and start using our own brains and to realize that they don't care about us, they don't care about you. So if you're into those kind of content, then you might want to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. And if you're returning to my channel, I just want to say welcome back. Thank you for clicking on this video. Thank you for being a part of my little community here on YouTube. I love you guys so much. You're so supportive. You guys really see my heart behind the things that I'm saying on my channel. I'm not here, as I said multiple times, I don't like the idea of just bashing and making fun of fat people for no reason. But I feel like it's important to talk about these topics, and I really appreciate you guys who've subscribed to my channel, who are a part of my little community here, who show me your support in the comments, and it just really means a lot to me. You have no idea. So today's video, by the title, you kind of already know what I'm going to be talking about. I said that I lost weight for boys. I know it sounds like, what the heck? Did you really like do this just for guys? No, I didn't do this just for guys. But I do feel like wanting to have more options in a partner that you choose, you need to be at the best state and the best version of yourself to attract somebody who's also at the best stage and the best version of themselves.
A couple of weeks ago, I was at my friend's house for a party, and there was a guy there who was like a friend of a friend, and we really hit it off. Like, I had so much fun getting to know this guy and just like talking, and I like really felt like I could date this guy. And a lot of my friends came up and were like, he's really, like, it seems like he's really into you. So this week I was doing some light Instagram stalking, as one should, and he has like several photographs with women in smaller bodies. And the places that my mind went instantly were just awful. And I hate that they were my first reactions. Again, these were over a course, like these photos were over the course of like 10 years. And I instantly just felt like I wasn't attractive enough or desirable enough in my body for someone to want me. And I hate that that was my first reaction, was due to my size and my plus size body that I love. I questioned my desirability for this man. And I hate the fact that I was like, oh, I wonder if he'd be willing to date a bigger girl. No, like, I hate that idea of being willing to date. Like, no. And the fact that like I would even question my worth and what I would bring into a relationship just because of 3 photographs over the course of 10 years. But like, that's what fatphobia does to someone. Like, these are the feelings that I have, like real feelings I have based off of years and years of conditioning of being told that I'm not good enough, that me and my body is not good enough.
So I thought it'd be interesting to tell you guys my thoughts on how ridiculous is it for somebody who is not at the best version of themselves. Okay, now I'm not talking about unattractive as in your nose is too big, your eyes is one sort of way or anything like that. Like, those are things you can't fix. But I'm talking about just not being at the best version of yourself, but you want to date somebody who is like at the best version of themselves. So when I was really obese, I used to, first of all, I did not have like multiple guys who liked me. That was not the story. But of course, like every other woman, there were guys who did like me. But were they the best kind of guys? No. But during the time I was like obese, I was really into the Zac Efron type of guys. But let's be honest, the Zac Efron type of guys are dating girls who are like the female version of themselves. Someone who also works out, someone who, you know, takes care of themselves and looks good and all of that. But me and my fat self, because I was so clouded by the whole beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which is true to a certain extent. But I was so like influenced by this idea of that some guys do like big girls, just believe that I was beautiful. And just don't be deceived by what I see with my own two eyes. I just had to believe it. And if I believed it, I was beautiful. So during that phase of my life, I would always attract guys that were like just not my type. And now let me just explain to you what I mean by that. So we have a few different category of guys. This is how I categorize them. This is my personal way of categorizing them. So if you don't agree with me, it's totally fine. But to me, this is how I categorize them, okay? So the first group of guys to me is like the top tier ones. These are the guys who are like physically fit. They are very successful. They're doing well in life. They are very inspiring and motivating and all of that. And these are the top tier guys, okay? These are the ones that I want, and I know most of my girlfriends would want. And then the second group is the guys who are on the journey of becoming the first group of guys. So these are the ones who may not be very fit yet, who may not be very successful yet, may still have like things about themselves that are kind of like red flaggish, but they're very aware of it and they're fixing themselves. So they are working on becoming like the best version of themselves in every aspect. These are the second group of guys. The first two group of guys are obviously going to pick girls who are also on the same journey as themselves. And I'm saying all of this based on my own experience, which we will get to shortly, okay? So these two group of guys, they are all only interested in girls who are also equally as, because the last thing you want, even if it's friendship, the last thing you want is somebody who is like going to bring you down, or somebody that you need to carry and you need to constantly assure them that, oh no, you're beautiful, you're amazing, even if you disagree with them. Like, that's the last thing you want. Any kind of relationship, whether it's friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, you don't want somebody who's just like, you want someone who's like on the same journey with you or motivating you to be better. So these two group of guys are going to find girls who are also in this category. Either she's already at her best self, or she's working on becoming her best self, but she's like on that journey. Why? Because she shares the same principles and same goals as them, and it will work. And then the next group of guys, this is the third group, they could be successful, but they may not be like, may not really take care of themselves. They don't look the best, or they could be physically like attractive and they look great, but then they may not be successful, or they may not have like ambition. They may just be happy with where they are. They don't have any intention to be better. I don't think that either of these two groups is a bad group. I mean, like, it's okay if somebody wants to be a bus driver, for example, and they love being a bus driver and that's all they dream to do. Then they will also have to find someone who is okay to just be the girlfriend or the wife of a bus driver, somebody who's just like really chill and they're fine with that type of life. Or if the guy is somebody who doesn't like work out and stuff like that, but he's very well to do, let's be honest, a lot of girls, if the guy is well to do, she doesn't really care how he looks. This third group of guys, I feel like they'll get by, they're fine. And then the last group of guys are the ones who just got nothing to offer. So in my experience, when I was obese, I would always get the third category or the fourth category of guys. I would never ever even be in the eye line of a guy who's the category 1 or 2. Why? Because I was also the same thing. I wasn't doing anything to better myself physically, financially, like in any way at all. I wasn't doing anything to better myself. So why or how can I expect someone who is on category 1 and 2 to be attracted to someone like me? I remember dating someone who was in, I would say, the third category. So this guy was good looking. He was attractive, but he did not have, he had ambition, but he was not working towards doing anything with this ambition. He would just talk about how he was going to be a famous rapper. He used to like smoke weed all the time. He used to get in fights. But to me, in my little bubble, I was like, but he's attractive though, and he likes me. And that's good enough. The worst thing is when you date somebody, when you have no self-worth, they can like really bring you down. So during this time, before I started talking to this guy, I had just started my weight loss journey. Okay, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, and I started eating healthy. I started doing all of this, and I think I had probably lost no more than 10 kg, just a little bit of weight. A little bit of weight for me because I was like 120 kg, so losing 10 kg is nothing much. And I remember like we were talking, and this guy, he really liked big girls. He did not like the idea of me wanting to lose weight, and he used to always buy me food. He used to encourage me to eat, and yeah, at that time I didn't know about the whole like feeder thing. I don't know if he was a feeder. I don't think he was, because we didn't like just constantly eat all the time. But he just didn't want me to lose weight. He would constantly tell me that I did not need to lose weight and stuff like that. But I would always see him checking out other girls who were so much more slimmer and smaller than me. And then later when I thought about it, I actually liked the fact that I was not, because before I met him I was very motivated. I was very like, working on myself and all of that. But when I met him, I stopped doing any of it, and I was just like constantly waiting on his validation. I depended on his validation, and he would like correct me. When he would like say mean things to me, I would just put up with it, because this was someone who made me feel seen. This is someone who made me feel, I don't know, special in a way, just because he liked me and he would do nice things for me. I had no self-worth. I realized that just because someone is good looking, or just because someone is just a little bit of the kind of person that I would want, that doesn't mean that he's like the prize. So if you're somebody who is like working on yourself and you're doing something good for yourself, you are in no way going to put up with all of this nonsense, because you have ambition, you take care of yourself, you're doing something good for yourself. Hence, when I realized that I wanted to be with the guys from the category 1 and category 2, I needed to become that person. I needed to become what I want to attract, because I was not attracted to the other group of guys. And I remember just being like really disappointed sometimes that the kind of guys that I did not want were the kind of guys who would approach me, and the kind of guys that I wanted would never approach me. But then again, it's because you attract what you are. If you are that kind of person, then you attract that kind of person. The opposite attracts is absolute nonsense. No. The way you live your life, the type of person that you are. I just want to say there is a small group of guys who really, really like to go for girls who they can sense is insecure, who can sense that doesn't feel beautiful or whatever it is. It's easy to manipulate. It's easy to get them to do whatever you want them to do. And insecurity, it's so obvious. If you're a girl who's insecure, it is so obvious from the way you talk, from the way you act, from the way you behave. And I think it's the same for guys as well. Like if you're insecure, it's just very obvious, and it's very easy for you to be a target for somebody who wants to manipulate you, because you are seeking validation, you're seeking love, and people can kind of like smell that. When I realized that no, I really don't want this kind of guys, and I was like really like upset why this kind of guys were the ones that I was attracting, or that who would like DM me or whatever. Why was it always a certain type, right? And I was like really frustrated. And then I started to think about it, and then I had a revelation. Girl, it's because of you, the kind of person that you are, the energy that you put out. And then I sat down and did my homework. I was like, okay, what are the kind of guys that I am attracted to? And I like those kind of guys who, take care of themselves, who is fit. The only reason why I see them as fit is because obviously they work out and they take care of themselves. Or like, if I see a guy who is like financially well-to-do, why is he financially well-to-do? Because he is working on himself. He's working towards something and stuff like that. Or even like when I would see somebody who may not be that fit, who may not even be like wealthy or whatever, but I know that they are working on themselves. Like when I see them at the gym, or when I see them like, just talking about what they're working on, it just makes me inspired and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I find that so attractive. And if that's the kind of people that I want to be around, that's the kind of, and I'm not just talking about guys, I'm talking about like even female, even friends in general, people who are just like working on themselves and like are building something, or are like just getting better. It made me also want to do the same. And so I was like, if I want to attract this kind of people, then I guess I'm gonna have to do the same. It is not fair for me to be upset that this kind of group of people don't want to pursue me or doesn't like me, when they put so much of effort into becoming the kind of person they are. Why would they want to date someone who clearly doesn't take care of herself? Why would they want to date someone who eats McDonald's every single day? Why would they want to date somebody who doesn't share the same values and beliefs as them? Why would they want to be with someone who doesn't think that living an active lifestyle is a good thing? If you and I have very different beliefs, then how is it going to work? I cannot expect them to look at me like a diamond in the rough and give me a time of day and try to fix me. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to do that to anybody either. I have no time to be fixing someone else. Also, When it comes to dating, it also kind of gives you a thought on like what kind of family would they want to have with you. If you're somebody who eats really unhealthily, you're completely fine eating like fast food every single day. You don't think that it's important to go out for a walk or do any kind of workout every day. You think it's totally fine to eat like highly processed food. What would that look like if I marry you one day? What would our kids eat? Would you just be feeding them mac and cheese every single day? Like all of that kind of tells the person what kind of person you are. People want to be with people who share the same lifestyle and same values as them, which is why I always say that I'm totally fine being with somebody who is not like physically fit yet, or you know, like, I mean, because as long as I know that you're working towards it, you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're working to, you know, get better, get fitter. You're not doing one of those like, oh yeah, I weigh 250 pounds, but you know, I eat healthy and work out every day. Like, that's absolute nonsense. And you're happy being 250 pounds. Like, come on, no. I want to be with somebody who is 250 pounds now, but is working towards becoming, you know, 100 something pounds or whatever. Like, that is attractive because that motivates me as well. And then we can be like, oh, let's do it together. Or I'm talking to somebody who I know shares a similar goal as me, and that will work in the long run. And then when I get married one day and I put on weight, I know that, okay, the person's going to help me, or the person's going to be like ready to get back into the gym, you know, support me, not tell me that I look beautiful as a fatty. I want to be with somebody who is going to encourage me to just be better, because they are also working towards being better. If you get a fat girl who's unhealthy, who doesn't care for herself, and you put her with a really attractive guy, and I know that it happens, there are people like this, or the other way around as well. The guy's like working out, goes to the gym, takes care of himself, and then the girl is not into doing any of that. At no point can he complain because he signed up for this. The other way around as well. If I'm a girl and I'm working out and I'm putting a lot of effort into like becoming the kind of person that I want to become, but I choose to voluntarily date somebody who doesn't care about himself, who smokes, who, you know, like eat unhealthily all the time, who doesn't care about their health, I chose to be with that kind of person, then I can't complain later. If I want to be with somebody who is category 1 and category 2, then I'm going to have to be a female version of category 1 or category 2. One of the best advice I ever heard someone say is become the person that you want to attract. If you wouldn't date you, then how dare you expect someone else to date you? If you have a whole bunch of disease, or you have a potential of getting a whole bunch of disease, why would somebody who is healthy and actually cares about what they put into their system want to date you? Would you want to date somebody who is at their worst, who's lying to themselves, painting their nails and putting on makeup and covering everything else, but not working on the most important thing, that's their health? Like, would you want to be with someone like that, who doesn't think that, someone who doesn't believe for a second that processed food is bad? Somebody who believes that having visceral fat is a beautiful thing and it's okay and we should celebrate that. So if you're a girl out there, or even a guy, and you have a type, I've learned that become the type of person that you want to attract. So that type that you have, you might want to be that person as well. I did not solely lose weight for boys, but I actually did like question myself that it was only this type of guys that I was getting that were pursuing me, and the kind of guys that I actually wanted were not. And I had to like reflect and think about myself and what I was doing and why was I attracting this kind of people. This is not just about weight, this is just about everything. If you're a toxic person, if you're a negative person, if you are just a bitter and just a horrible, ugly person on the inside, then you'll also attract all the horrible, ugly, bad kind of people. And that's just how it is. Which is why I always believe that it's so dangerous to date when you're insecure, when you don't think you're at the best version of yourself, when you know that there are still a lot of things about yourself to fix. I always believe it's better to fix it first before you go put yourself out there, because you don't want to attract the wrong type of people. Or even if you attract the right type of person, you don't want to destroy someone else because you've got like things that you need to work on. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this video. If you liked it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because I upload new videos at least once a week. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. I actually post a lot of stuff on there, my workouts, what food I'm eating, things like that. So if you're interested to follow me when I'm not posting videos, then you can follow me on my social media. The links are in the description box below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.